Cambridge Analytica is accused of improperly gathering data from a personality app developed by a University of Cambridge professor. The professor gave the firm profile data from over 50 million users, mostly without their explicit consent. Facebook says they asked Cambridge Analytica to destroy this data when they found out about the scheme, but a former employee told the New York Times the company's servers still had hundreds of gigabytes of that data.
My name is Mike Popescu. I call myself a marketing scientist. For the past 6 months, I've been serving as head of research at Cambridge Analytica. It was our last day. I feel sad. I feel angry. I don't think that it was fair on us who work at Cambridge Analytica. The fact that I've been working at Cambridge Analytica has caused media attention. I've been approached by a number of journalists. I've been approached by a number of people who said some harsh word to me for some things that I wasn't involved in, and I could understand them. Of course, all of this happened because people don't understand what we actually did. I would say that from my perspective, it was a classical witch hunt. So, a wider audience or a general public doesn't understand what we do, and then they set us on fire. One of our services is actually targeting people on Facebook and other social media. So we need personal information to build lookalike audiences. And I'll explain you what is this. When you do target audience analysis, you assume that there are different audiences. They have different behaviors and they want different things or they like different things. So you have a look, and for example, let's say I conducted a survey in one country. I had a couple of thousands of respondents, and I found out that there is a group that I would like to target. And let's say these are undecided voters who want better education. And then I can use this name, go on Facebook, upload these names onto Facebook and say to Facebook, Facebook, find me the people who look like this group. And then I serve the commercial to a lookalike audience. This is a novel way of targeting online, accessible to anyone. But you need personal information to be able to use this. You need something that identifies this person on Facebook. In most of the cases, your data is not being sold, you are being sold as an audience. Now let me tell you another story that's much bigger than all of this. Every time that you go on certain web page to read news free of charge, there is a little cookie. There's like all of these websites that are giving you some contents free of charge have loads of cookies. They collect cookie and they then track you how you behave, what you do, blah, blah, blah. And what they do later on, they sell those cookies to something called data management platform. And now data management platform is buying cookies from 2, 3, 4 million publishers. So they connect your browsing history, so they know what you saw online for the past year or two. So every time when you are using certain web service free of charge, they monetize on you somehow. They either sell your data or sell the cookies, or they sell you as audience for advertisers to use to advertise to. That's it. If you really cared about your privacy, you would read terms and conditions of online, services, of, let's say, newspaper portals, of applications that you're using. You're reading certain things free of charge, you never read terms and conditions, you click accept to any cookies. It's your fault as well.
You mentioned that in data research, you don't care who we are on an individual level. Do you think there are big differences between being targeted as an individual or as a group?
Yes and no. I think that you need to understand why marketeers analyze you guys, and I'm also part of different groups, why we analyze people as groups. In the foundation of marketing concept, the idea is that you serve customers better than competitors. And there is an assumption that different groups of customers have different needs. And for us marketeers to be able to serve or cater to those different needs, we have to study different groups and then design offerings for them.
Do you think the whole industry is operating in a gray area? And after the Facebook scandal, will people working in the area change?
Well, I'm not 100% sure whether the entire industry operates in gray area. Like in any field of life, you always have a couple of actors that probably operate in some kind of unregulated field. Now we need to understand here that internet and computer networks and generally social networks are something very new to the mankind. And obviously, when you have this new phenomena, when you have this, let's say, new facilities available to the mankind, usually the legislation is behind that. You know, any kind of misuse or misbehaving or any kind of taking advantage of customers' privacy is going to bounce back. So this is not a sustainable way of running a business.
What will be the future of data research with the new background, including the GDPR?
Definitely with GDPR in place, it is going to be much more difficult for all players. So frankly, I have mixed feelings about that. And I think that instead of penalizing the entire industry, I think the bad practices should be penalized. But also at the same time, I think it's good to respect customers' privacy because there can be misuses and GDPR is trying to prevent for this. Unfortunately, GDPR applies only to the EU countries and not worldwide. So while EU is at the forefront of this regulation, the vast majority of the mankind is still not having that privilege to be protected by GDPR law. So, I would say 90% of the mankind is still going to be targeted in unethical way. Data is power. Whoever has data has power. Some of the large organizations such as Google and Facebook, they have large volumes of data, and these organizations who track us passively on a daily basis are having, in certain cases, much more strength than the governments and the states. It's digital world, everything is being tracked.